half colons in the title. Anyways, anyways, hopefully things are set up. Looks like audio is working fine. I think I actually have my inventory set up for once. Yeah, we should be fine. Clueless. You guys just ignore any of the dev stuff that's going on with my inventory. I know there's a few weird stuff going on. Don't worry too much about it. Anyways, the plan for today's stream is going to be going ahead and making sure stuff is working. Looks like it is. Oh, let me do that. Anyways, the plan is to go ahead and rebirth, and then go through grind as fast as possible. Yeah, this stream is going to be at a dev show us some dev console. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be showing off the dev console today's stream. Easiest way to get antenna parts in Remnant Zone, burn as much glitchy loot gum as you have, and then grind more because you need a ton. You need like probably 30 to 100 glitchy loot gum to get through all of the Remnant Zone. So grind a lot in advance, and good luck on that. But anyways, plan is to go ahead and rebirth in the void and get our 25th rebirth. I kind of want to, over the next month or so, get up to 17 total Remnant Tycoons, which is 12 more rebirths. So I figured now would be a good time to go ahead and start that, since I do kind of want to be able to grind gems in Remnant Zone, since it is the best area for doing that. And I've been really behind on a lot of gem grinding for classifieds. You know, mostly because I've been being lazy, and a little bit because I've become a developer. Teeny bit. Being busy with that. But yeah. We are all together, am I right? Oh yeah, guys, for Valentine's Day there is a new code, together, the number 2 and then together, you know. Yeah, it's a pet. It's actually pretty good stats, I think. I know I literally made the stats for it, but I can't remember where exactly it's comparable to, because I kind of just eyeballed it in terms of stats, so, it has slightly less stats than this, for reference. Yeah, a lot less stats than that. It's less stats than some of the other previous code pets, but it should still be pretty good for most new players. Anyways, and yeah, Deadpool, you did get really lucky. I saw that a while ago. That you managed to get... You wasted so many gems on getting an actual gem classified, and then you go ahead and just turn around and immediately get 2 dev classifieds. That's just insane. That's the thing about dev classifieds. They're easy enough to get on accident that it becomes super obnoxious when you don't get them on purpose, because people have spent over 1,000 keys, over 4,000 keys, I think, is the current unlucky person. And yet there are multiple people with like 2, 3 under the 500 keys or whatever. I was going for Cloudwave, but 300 crown keys and 1,800. Yeah, honestly, like Cloudwave and stuff is actually one of the, or I think Cloudwave is the most difficult classified to get, just because of how much, like, with all the gem classifieds, you have this thing where you have an exponential, or you have growth on how many gems you can grind. Whereas with crate keys, pretty much everyone's grinding at the same pace for crate keys or crown keys. There's a little bit with crown keys with 2 times, but that's not enough of a scaling to make up for rebirth perks, pets, and all that stuff that you get with gems. But anyways, the plan is probably just to go ahead and rebirth right now. I know, like, I feel like this is super anticlimactic to do it. I feel like I should hype it up a little bit more, but yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. And then hopefully we don't get any errors. Yeah, no, that's fine, and then the server should be fine. Yeah, that's just... Don't worry about that. Yeah. Just making sure, because I had messed with my data, that it wasn't going to eat anything in terms of the error, so that was a little bit of a worry, but I didn't think it'd be too much of an issue. Anyways, yeah, now we'll go ahead and Rebirth grind. Hopefully these two ghosts give us what we need. Oh, I forgot how good Permanent Magnet is. There we go. Remember to follow your guide. Yeah, I have no idea how to... I haven't even read your guide since I last did Rebirth. Anyways, upgrade our pack as high as we can. And then we can go ahead and teleport to Adam. And spam through his quest. Wait, hi, since you're a coder for Ghostum, are you allowed to give yourself stuff? Yes. I am technically allowed to give myself stuff as a developer of Ghost Simulator. I won't, since, like, you know, I've gotten 5 rebirths now. Legitimately, I'm not going to cheat myself for any more. I should have done this before pressing me to talk. But whatever. Anyways, I think for this, you probably want to be using teleports or whatever. Yeah, this is probably pretty slow already, but... yeah, we're going to be doing what? Yeah, there's a guide that Deadbull, I think, posted in my Discord group. It's pinned somewhere. I don't know. Deadbull can probably point you in the right direction for that pretty easily. Or DM you. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, very similar to what you would expect. There's a little bit of extra stuff on, like, how you're supposed to do Yoko's and Blaze's quests, like while or whatever, or concurrently, all that stuff. I did a bit of off-camera grinding and got 175 rebirths. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not planning on doing anything silly like that. I don't have the hoverboard yet. Oh, it's been so long since I've rebirthed in Ghost Simulator. Honestly, rebirthing is actually, like... you guys probably noticed that I had, like, 2 billion gems or something ridiculous. Honestly, it's so freeing to finally rebirth in Ghost Simulator. Like, you don't have to worry about perks or stuff. You can, like, once you rebirth, like, you can kind of just forget about everything else grinding in Ghost Simulator and just focus on that rebirth, and then once you finish that rebirth, you can go switch over, pivot straight into another rebirth or whatever. It's fairly clean. I think once we find this, we will go ahead and then teleport, upgrade our antenna, and then talk to... oh, are we, like, just out of reach of that? No, we aren't. Anyways. I'm going to set up my Rem zone for antenna parts and rebirth and see if I can beat you. Yeah, you're almost certainly going to beat me, honestly. I mean, depending on how long you take for getting all the items you need for upgrading your remnant zone, there's very little chance you don't beat me. You have a much better strategy than I do, and I think you have a better PC, and you aren't going to be streaming at the same time, so... but yeah, no, if I get like an hour head start, I actually do have a chance. Anything less than that, and I would say I don't have a chance. And yeah, for anyone wondering, this is going to be around a 3 to 4 hour stream. Hopefully less than 3 hours, but that really depends on how bad my lag is. Like, if you guys can see right now, I'm losing time because I'm walking slower because of how Roblox physics work, which isn't too much of a deal. It's not that bad. But it is something I have to keep in mind. I'm going to rebirth with you. Yeah, y'all are going to beat me if you just try racing. No, not all of you guys. I'm not, like, the slowest rebirth in the world. I do have a pretty fast pace. But it is definitely nowhere near the times I've seen Deadbull post. Anyways, I think we're going to go ahead and upgrade our antenna now. There's not really any reason not to. I think today I'll get the Collide with a Dev badge. Yeah, I'll be switching over to public servers to do bosses for Yoko, and probably also server hopping for Agent Blaze. When I'm doing the server hopping for bosses, that's probably the best time to catch me, as I'll be standing still to do bosses. Actually, I won't be like standing still, but I'll be in a relatively same place, whereas if you're trying to catch me for Agent Blaze, I'm server hopping like 95% of the time, or running to find a find data. So, but yeah, if anyone does need the Dev badge, now's the time to do it. I won't be going out of my way, at least not until like I get my Rebirth done. But I should have, you should have a few opportunities to go ahead and get that. How do you get through backdoor fast without any Rebirth? One of the things that I find that I've heard people say is helpful, the last time I did went through backdoor was, I've never went through backdoor as the first time through without gum. But yeah, the thing I've found that people say is helpful is go ahead and grind some loot gum. So basic loot gum from like Ice Cave or whatever, or glitchy loot gum if it's after you've maxed out backdoor before your Rebirth. Both those two, just having a really good supply of loot gum is how you get through those areas as fast as possible. Basic loot gum is pretty cheap to get, so that'd be what I would go for if you haven't Rebirthed yet. But once you've maxed out on your current Rebirth, spend some time, grind up some glitchy loot gum. It's a fairly easy process. Literally just grab as many ghosts in the last few areas you can while using glitchy loot gum, using like the void set or whatever, and you should be good to go. Hi, Rebirth 2 times. Yeah, getting your first few Rebirths is actually a really good accomplishment. Especially when you get like those permanent perks like the Ghostly Vision, it's kind of cool. And completing like all the second arc stuff. Oh, now that the gum bug is fixed, you can actually see highs for the badge. Yes, yeah. You guys will actually be able to see people when they're using gum. Like, honestly, that's one of the things that like really has been holding like the game back for like grinders or whatever, because it's kind of oh, and new players. Like, I know I've seen a lot of new players, like if a player's using gum in a server, they're like, hey, this person's hacking or whatever. So it should help clear up a lot of confusion. Just make the game cleaner overall. Ideally, I want to grab all the rat ghosts before I leave here. I mean, it's not the worst board in the world, but yeah, I definitely understand. It's a little bit lackluster for how expensive it is for some players. I mean, for me, 1 billion gems is quite literally like 20 minutes of grinding or whatever. But for a lot of people, it's a lot more than that. So, yeah. I think it'd be cooler if it was Rainbow, but I feel like Rainbow's also overused in the game, so, you know. Alright, there we go, done with that, and the next one's items, so we're already instantly done. And we have the hoverboard now. Oh, I do need to make sure that works. Lovely. Anyways, now that we have the hoverboard, it is going to be just an antenna grind through the rest of the main hub, and then we'll be going ahead and doing, starting with Yoko and Gatekeeper in the Ghost World. I'm certain that the backdoor classified boards are worth more gem-wise than Hoshi Blade. Yeah. I think they are. It really depends what, like, luck boost you're running, though. Like, with Hoshi Blade, like, you have to legitimately grind up 1 billion gems at one time. With those classifieds, you can spend 200 million 5 times or whatever, or 10 times. Which is relatively easier to do. Also, I need to close my journal. I am missing when I have my upgrades available. I don't even think I need these items, so... Not like meteorites where I know I'll need like 20,000 more meteorites. Alright. So... Upgrade our pack up to the max. Don't think that's quite max. Upgrade our vacuum, because we'll start to notice that in about 3 years. Should be fine. What will the pet crate in the next dimension cost? Up to 1 billion gems. I don't know what the plan is for pet crates in new dimensions. I don't know if there will be a gem cost to them, or like it might be something similar to Void, where it costs like a boss key of something. I don't really know. Yeah, you need a lot of, I know you need a lot of meteorites and gold bars. And I don't think you need as many artifacts from, like, the thing, or from the pyramid. But you definitely need a lot of gold bars. Alright, bye, Rep. You need 25, either that or 15. Yeah, it's like insane how many of these meteorites you need. Although looking at it, we probably already have enough. We've gotten like a bajillion drops, and that's. I mean, okay, not literally bajillion, but close enough to it. Yeah, 193 I saw. Oh yeah, Pet Crate 16. I think that's scheduled. Or it's not scheduled. Sorry, I think that's approximately 180, 200 billion or something with maximum luck boosts, not including extra luck weekends or whatever. But yeah, it's going to be a pricey classified. Are we getting unlucky with gold bars? Alright, I guess while we're here, we might as well go unlock the bonus bomb. We'll probably be unlocking the bonus bomb for other things, but might as well. Got 2 more days of school before holidays. Gonna use those to grind the last block spec keys. Yeah, good luck with that. I know holidays are like... School holidays are one of the best. I know for... I think 2019, you know, 5 years ago now, but I used a lot of my school holidays for grinding the Halloween event, for Ghost Simulator specifically, and I knew that was really fun use of my time, even. Alright, I have, there, that should be enough drops. Anyways, we probably need a few more of these. I don't think we need that many badges though, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue. Honestly, it's more of just grabbing the ghost for the antenna parts than anything. Although, I wouldn't have minded a single drop there, but whatever. We already have these, so I'm not going to worry too much. And yeah, now we just need to get a few more gold bars. If I remember correctly, gold bars are the ones we need for upgrading. Oh, we can already upgrade. You only need 25 sheriff badges for Blaze. Yeah, the thing is, I think we got barely enough to go ahead and upgrade our antennas. So I think we might be a little bit low. Not that I think it matters too much. Like, realistically speaking, it's like a 2-minute time loss to not have those items. Like, we're losing more time just from lag or whatever. It's not a hyper efficient Rebirth grind here. I also know that pearls are one of the interesting ones. Like, just, we don't need that many for, actually, no, we do need like 50 for one of the quests. So we need around 75 additional on top of upgrading our antenna. But yeah, we don't need that many for actually, we need a lot for upgrading our antenna. It takes quite a bit of time. I think it takes like 2 or 3 glitchy loot gums in that area to get it. For now, I think I've dropped. Okay, I think I said no. What was it that I said? Oh, that was it. Someone was asking to reduce the timers for like mega bosses or whatever. I dropped a little bit of a spoiler for next update, so if anyone doesn't want to get spoiled for next update, it literally next update it's planned to go ahead and actually reduce some of those timers. Some of them. I'm not going to give specifics, but yeah. If you think a timer's too long, it's probably getting reduced a little bit. A lot. Has there? I don't think there's been any other super big leaks though for next update, so I'm not going to say too much more. I do know that one I did technically delete the message, so it isn't technically public, but you know, I'm a developer, I'm allowed to leak stuff. So I can go ahead and leak that. Anyways, now we need to just go ahead and get pearls. Which will definitely not take 3 years. Hello! I need the... Okay, wow, okay, my messenger went behind. Yeah, at some point later in this stream, I'll be going ahead and doing boss hopping for Yoko. That'll be probably a good time for you guys to go ahead and find my server. My joins are on everyone, so if I'm in a public main hub server, you guys will be able to straight up join me. Right now, I'm in a private server, technically in the reserve part of a private server, so no one can really actually join me. But yeah, once we get there, that's a good time to join. Reduce the timer for 1 second. Yeah, no, not going to be quite that silly. I do kind of want to give people the option to play with other people in public servers. And honestly, I don't think it's really worth coding an entire separate thing for private servers for timers. Just because, you know, at some point, private servers might actually be able to join other people. Hopefully. I think looking into it, there is a pretty easy, I want to say, way to go ahead and make something work. It just would require quite a bit of work on my end, but like not much like research work, more of just like, you know, programming up work where it's making sure that everything works correctly. Yeah, I mean, an alt account can help. Honestly, though, I don't think an alt account is needed to go ahead and Rebirth speedrun. I think there's plenty of like, you lose like 30 minutes to an... Yeah, you lose like 30 minutes, like, maximum, not having an alt. Hello! Why did I join this? Guys, I don't know why I joined this. This is time loss. We're now losing about a minute of time in a race. Yeah, for anyone wondering, this is why I don't ever get speed runs done in like under 3 hours. But yeah, honestly, I'm going to be probably continuing a lot more Rebirth off stream. So once I finish up with this one, probably not today, but like tomorrow or whatever, I'll be starting to just get like a Rebirth going on, a Rebirth streak. I do have other stuff, as I said, or as you guys know, I am a developer, so not as much time as back when I was just a YouTuber for the game. But I do kind of want to get up to the 36 Rebirths I had said I would before Halloween eventually, which I don't... At this current pace, that's going to be quite a while, but... Yeah, Ninja Wars. Yeah, he's or Ninja Wafers? Are you talking about Ninja Wars or Ninja Wafers? I don't know who Ninja Wafers is, but I do know who a Ninja Wars is. Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you that it would be kind of cool. I just understand that some features are a lot more complicated to add than others. And I've been told that mega bosses are not going to be easy to implement. Yeah, it's another prominent Ghost Sim player. Now, I'm fairly sure we don't need that many diamonds. We do need to unlock the area, though, so I'm going to grab, hopefully, enough to unlock, and then we're going to head over to Ghost World for Yoko's quest. I think we do up till quest 6. And then, like, for the last part of quest 6, we grab Gatekeeper, do a lot of Gatekeeper's quests, and then... Gatekeeper has a single boss in his quest somewhere. We do that boss for double dipping, and then we do Great Guardian as the last for quest 6. And then we do the rest of Gatekeeper up to quest 12, and then we should be good to go move on to Yoko, grabbing any bosses we see on our way through, like, backdoor or whatever I think's the path. I do believe that's a decent way to do it. I don't know if that's the exactly optimal way that people say to use, but that's pretty much what our plan is going to be. Go ahead, start Yoko. Ag. But yeah. Yeah, I thought we didn't need that many diamonds. Like, there's some items you just need an obscene amount of, and then there's other items where it's just like, oh yeah, you got 5 cents? Thank you. You're done. It's kind of funny. And then there are the items that you need for both Yoko and Blaze, and it's just like, whoa. Hello! Yeah, I'm doing another Rebirth speedrun. It's been a long time. Honestly, it's mainly been events that's been keeping me away from rebirthing. Then a little bit of getting adjusted to the developing, but mainly it was the events, to be honest. Let's see, how far can we upgrade our pack? Probably there. Where can you get loot gums? Loot gums you can get from converting pretty much any items at gum machines. The best way is to grind the last areas of Remnant Zone, Backdoor, or Main Hub, and then convert those items since they have better convert rates. Each world has a gum machine. I mean, they're fairly prominent to go ahead and find. Oh, we need to upgrade our vacuum at some point. probably once we finish up these ghosts. Ninja wafers. Yeah. I assumed that one was referring to you, but... Honestly, the funny thing about my name is, like, no one really misspells it, really. Like, it's either spelled high, like, people just shorten it or whatever, or it's spelled highest, like, you know, without the I or whatever, just because of, like, autocorrect or whatever. It's not really, it's really hard to butcher. And I mean, I think that's just probably because it has less syllables, but, like, I don't know. It's not one of those things where, like, everyone calls me the wrong name. I'm gonna, I know some people, it's like literally their name, it gets butchered so much that they just give up on trying to correct it because everyone makes the same exact mistake. I know in real life that happens. But yeah. How was your... yeah, generally the first one's what I go for pronunciation, but honestly, I couldn't care less if other people pronounce it differently or spell it differently. Anyways, let's go upgrade our vacuum a few times, and then hopefully upgrade our pack. I don't think we can, though. How was your singleness day? Yeah, my singleness day, I mean, honestly, I haven't ever been in a relationship, so I don't know. I'm not really... I'm literally probably the worst person to ask on stuff like that. I'm not very personal in terms of, like, connections or whatever. Anyways, 2 quests. I do believe we have to go ahead and level up to level 2. I probably should have set up my pet teams beforehand with some pets to level up for this, but whatever. It's not going to be too much of a loss. Also, another funny thing was, when I was checking my inventory, seeing what pet levels we have, I realized that I have, like, 2 pets at, like, level 9 or something funny. So I don't actually need to worry about too much of the pet leveling stuff. Like, generally speaking, you have, like... Generally speaking, you have all of your, like, common pets up to, like, level 10 or whatever. But for whatever reason... That's not what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I have, like, 2 pets or whatever at level 9. And I can't remember why they're at level 9. It's... Actually, I guess... Might have accidentally left it on after Fern or something? Huh. Yeah, honestly, that's the thing about Ghost Sim. Like, it's such a small community. I'm, like, pretty much everyone knows everyone else. Maybe not knows everyone else, but, like, if you're prominent in the community, like, you pretty quickly learn, like, oh yeah, Highest does streams every once in a while. And then you show up to one and you're like, oh yeah, okay. You either decide, oh, I'm watching these, because it's kind of nice in the background, or you're like, ah, not really that interesting. Honestly, I can't blame people. Some of my content, like, honestly, I haven't made a good video in, like, I think my last good video was over 2 years ago now. It's kind of funny. Like, I'm looking at my analytics for YouTube or whatever. Like, it gives you kind of, like, in the last 48 hours or whatever, it gives you, like, your most viewed videos. And, like, looking at it is sometimes really weird because it's, like, the most recent video I uploaded, if I uploaded it, like, within the last 2 days or whatever, when it gets a lot of views. And then it's, like, these videos from years ago, which just people keep going and looking for and whatever because they're actually, like, good. And I really do need to make some more good videos or revamp some of those. Like, it's just... So some of them is, like, there's not really any reason to, since, like, nothing's really changed in the game since I made them. Like, unboxing for classifieds really... Okay, unboxing for classifieds is a really bad example because it has changed a lot. But, like, grinding gum or whatever, it's really the same as whenever I uploaded my last video, like, or my first video on it, like, years ago. Like, the routes changed slightly due to the additional ghost spawns, but that's it in the last, like, 3 years. Or whatever. Alright, level up any pet up to level 10. I really am trying to figure out what in the world this team's going on. Alright, I do believe this team's set up correct. Actually, no, it's set up horribly, isn't it? Alright, yep, 2 level 9s. Let's grab a level 1. Actually, we're grabbing 2 level 1s because we'll need 2 at some point later, so for like level 7 and 10, I believe. But anyways, this is 10 ghosts for level 2. I probably should have had this team set up beforehand. I mean, it's like 15 seconds of time lost, so it doesn't matter too much. I think for this, I probably should have just grabbed the items beforehand, because, like, this should have just been an instant complete. This is honestly one of those quests that I always forget, is grabbing stopwatches before I head up and do Yoko. And this is actually, like, one of the places that you could probably save, like, 3 or 4 minutes. Like, a significant amount of time for, like, very little extra work. Alright. Journal, teleport. Yeah, I kind of broke, or I guess, yeah, it is just broken, isn't it? Yeah, this is like one of the small bugs that I actually added in the last update. Sorry about that. But yeah, tracking quest doesn't seem to appear correctly. It's minor, but it is definitely a little bit obnoxious. Anyways, I think for this one, the general plan is to go ahead and grab some ghosts for Gatekeeper, I think is... Honestly, I don't know what the general plan is for this quest. I generally just go grab Gatekeeper's quest and then grab a few ghosts for it, but honestly, it might be better just to ignore Gatekeeper for now. But yeah, basically the track quest doesn't quite show up when you talk to an NPC to get their quest. It still visually appears up there, but yeah, it's a tad broken. All right, we'll sell, and then we'll probably teleport back to Gatekeeper. Alright, that's Gatekeeper, and then that's Yoko. Alright, now we are on to bosses for Yoko. I do believe we want to do, like, 5 of them first, and so we don't need to really worry too much about, actually, let's swap our pet team out. Honestly, I should probably just be doing a boss right now instead of, like, upgrading our pack. But whatever. Not too... Right, I'm starting. Good luck to the both of us. Yeah, okay, let me check. Do I have an hour head start? No, I have a 40-minute... I have, like, a 30-minute head start. Yeah, I think it's safe to say you're going to win this. Like, unless I get, like, really... No, it's not even me getting lucky on stuff. It is literally you getting, like, really bad RNG on, like, bosses or whatever. Should I have done Brim first? Actually, I don't think it matters too much. I think we... Yeah, I think we swap over to main hub's public servers anyways, once we're done with these 2 bosses. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Does rebirthing affect me getting a classified as an higher chance, or can I just grind gum normally and get a classified the same way? Rebirthing does not increase the chance of getting a classified. It does mean that you can grind more gems, though, so that you can unbox more chests, which does mean you have a higher chance at getting a classified from gems, at least. But yeah, in terms of like straight up chance per crate or whatever, it doesn't actually increase it at all. Yeah, I mean, most of it's like just me being slow. I'm pretty slow on rebirth grinds. I say pretty slow. I'm still going to be done like 10 times faster than most people end up doing it. Not quite that fast, but like considerably faster than most people can, just because I can sit down for like a few hours at a time and do a rebirth straight instead of like having to do it in like 2, 3, 4 sessions. Alright, there we go. Got first boss done. We'll go ahead and sell, upgrade our pack. And then we're going to go ahead and grab Grim, which I believe is Far Island spawn for the first one. I can't remember. I might just be wasting my time. It is. Alright, perfect. And yeah, once we're done with this, I think we'll grab a few ghosts for Gatekeeper, then see about getting the... Actually, yeah, then we'll get Jolly Roger to respawn, and then we'll have Grim respawn, and then do both those two here. Hello. Yeah, Rebirth grinding again. Yeah, I think with the holiday or the events, whatever, I always take a break during the holidays, and it's always nice to like refreshing to finally do your first Rebirth after that, because like until you do your first Rebirth, you're kind of sitting at the max account where you're like, okay, if I rebirth, I lose access to Remnant Zone, I lose access to this the jetpack ability, you lose access to like everything, and it's kind of a pain. But yeah, once you finally do your first Rebirth, because you don't have any of that anymore, you can just kind of Rebirth grind. Honestly, I find it really freeing. But yeah, I plan to hopefully, before remaxing myself out, do about 12 more rebirths, or 11 I guess after this one. So should be probably not going to do streams for all of them. I think like probably more than half of them I'm just going to do off stream, since honestly it's easier to do rebirths off stream than on stream. But yeah. It's so weird for me not having a jetpack. I think earlier in the stream I was jumping up the wall for the beach area. I was jumping as if I had the jetpack equipped. And I just kind of acted like it was normal, but yeah. Honestly, yeah, for rebirths in 24 hours, that's about that would be, for me, I think, like, that'd be like 20 hours for me of stuff. It would not be fun. But that's mostly because I require myself on, like, every rebirth to go ahead and do Fern, along with, yeah, I think it's just Fern that I require myself to do. But I always do Fern every rebirth, because the 38 crate keys that you get from that is super valuable. It's 100% worth like the hour or so you spend on our quest to go ahead and get those crate keys. Like I think even for someone doing a rebirth in 2 hours, it's just more efficient, or it's like just as efficient to go ahead and just spend that extra 30 minutes to an hour to do Fern. I'm going to, yeah, once I finish up, honestly, 2 more mini bosses, and yes. I believe this is rare ghost that I need, so we'll grab a few of these. Honestly, I need to upgrade my vacuum. Alright, it's 2... If you don't get tired or bored. Yeah. Honestly, I'm one of those people that will get bored, like, super easily, but I always, like... I only do, like, not 2 hours. I only do, like, maximum, like, 5 hours in a row on Ghost Simulator, so I don't get myself burnt out. But yeah, if I did stuff for longer than 3 hours, I can feel myself getting tired. Around the 6 hour mark, it's like, okay, now it's the time to stop, take a break, do something else. Anything longer than 10 hours, and I think I would just take a nap. I'm going to be honest. I have a sleep schedule. I say sleep schedule because, like, it's better than most people, but, like, it's not the best. Like, I will wake up sometimes at 7 o'clock in, like, 7 a.m. Other times I'll wake up at, like, 10 a.m. because, you know. But interesting. Is there any reason why sometimes this doesn't display as tracked and other times it does? Oh, farming ghosts for gems? Yeah. Okay. That is also... That's another one. Okay. Let's see. How long does it take for Jolly Roger to respawn? Alright, we're going to go ahead and use a boss bait right now for the Grim. And then we're going to go ahead and do Grim and then the other boss, and then we're going to hop into public servers. But yeah, no, I understand that, like, honestly, gem grinding and gum grinding are super boring in Ghost Simulator. Like, you're basically doing the same thing over and over again. I think gem grinding is worse. I think gum grinding is just a little bit better because you can every once in a while decide, oh, let's me go convert or whatever. Whereas with, like, gem grinding, like, even if you go convert or whatever, sell, it really doesn't do too much. With the gum grinding, you can be like, oh, look at that. I got 3 boss gums. That's a nice progress. But yeah. No, it's definitely a pain doing some stuff. Bosses are actually kind of fun to grind. I don't think any of the bosses are really worth it to grind, unfortunately, but I do know when I was grinding Final Boss that was something I could literally do for 10 hours straight. Off stream, I wouldn't do that on stream. I think on stream it's a lot more tiring to do some stuff. But off stream, yeah, I grinded. I think during the first or second or whatever, during one of the double drops events, I literally spent like 17.5 hours in like the first 2 days, because for like the last day or whatever, I wasn't going to be home or anything. So I was like, okay, I need to spend these hours grinding Ghost Simulator because like these are broken events. So I literally spent 17.5 hours grinding Final Boss with like glitchy boss gum or whatever. It was ridiculous. I think that was like the time when I did the or was that the, like, there's so many times that I've opened Block's Final Keys, I can't really remember. I think that might have been the one for the 800. 800 keys unboxing. It was either that one or the 500 one. But yeah, pretty much all of the final, the Blockspike keys unboxing, those have all like been after a double drops event where I grinded using like Boss Gum or whatever, but. I watched some stories while grinding gum and stuff to not get bored. Yeah. I definitely had a lot of watching YouTube while I grinded on Ghost Simulator, especially during the early days. Like, now it is kind of, I find it interesting to just be able to sit in it. Actually, it's more of like my computer gets super laggy. But anyways, we're going to go grab Jolly Roger, and then we're going to be going ahead and heading into public servers to grab the last 2 bosses, and then we're going to head back here, finish up Gatekeeper, and then do the Great Guardian for boss number 7 for Yoko. And then we're going to focus on the rest of it. Yeah, that's a fairly good thing. 700, yeah. No, it's a fairly common thing. No, I think the math is like it's something like 3 times easier to get like to get keys during 2 times drops events. Just because of how the additive works with like grinding gum is 2 times easier, and then using the gum gets you 2 times more or whatever. So it's like three times more effective to grind final boss or whatever during those drops events, which I think is just broken. There's a reason why they aren't coming back now that I'm a developer, and like I am adamant on it, despite the community kind of like, okay, not everyone in the community, but a few people in the community are like really like, hey, why aren't you bringing this back? We're mad that you aren't bringing this back. Or it's like, this is one of the things that I will literally like. I am not budging on this issue in Ghost Simulator. Double drops are not coming back. There are other things in the game where it's like rebalancing like rebirth perks. Like I have an idea for what I want to do with that. But if like the community is like super upset with some of those changes or whatever, I'm not 100% set on like numbers or actually how it's happening or anything like that. Like there's flexibility there. But with like double drops, there will never be another double drops event. In addition to that, like most likely drops in Ghost Simulator will now all become like additive multipliers, or like at least the 2 times Game Pass might become an additive. I might buff it slightly to compensate. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I'm not touching Game Passes anytime soon, so it's not too big of an issue. But I definitely think the disparity between people who have 2 times items being able to grind gum like so much better than others is just kind of weird. All right. Anyways, with that, I think we're going to go ahead and pop over into a public server to go ahead and get the last 2 bosses. Yes, Gabe, the associate Gabe actually gives some glitchy boss gum. It's not too much, but it is definitely something fun to get from that quest. Yeah, with the loot gum and the double drops is kind of too much. I think 2 times items events were added way before that. Lovely. No, okay, it looks like people need me to give them dev badges. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, 2 times the event was added before gum was added, so it really wasn't taken into account when they just continued to rerun the event like 3 times. Anyways, is the boss up here? I probably could have just checked before climbing all the way up here. But yeah. Opinion on bread. I really like bread. I'm kind of a carb addict, if you will. Mainly sugar, but whatever. Man, you're going super slow, Deadbolt. Alright, watch there be like 0 bosses here. The next race is in 5 minutes. Like, this is literally the worst server. Okay, there's a dino boss at least. And then we'll hop back over to Ghost World. There'll probably be like a Grim or whatever there for us to grab. And yeah. Anyways, yeah, we're going to be chilling here. I think if I just run around here, there isn't really anything that can hit me. So, yeah. Usually takes like 15 to 16 minutes to get to Ghost World. Yeah, and I probably took 25. I'm just... Anytime Deadbolt says any numbers and related to a speed run, just call him slow, and that generally works out pretty well. Since like, as of right now, he's the person with the fastest rebirth time I know of. It's like a 2 hour, 3 minute or whatever. 2 hour 12 minute? Okay. It's same difference. I mean, what even is a 10-minute? No. Honestly, I imagine next update, someone's gonna get a sub 2 hour, and it's going to be a bad time next update for me. I just love how when I told people, yeah, I don't know what it was. Like, that's been like one of the things that I've been like adamant on. Double drops should never return. The event. I didn't realize that many people didn't understand that. That was my stance on that thing. But you know, it is what it is. Sub 2 hour. Yeah, next update, there's going to be some changes. I'm going to try to make sure it's as balanced as possible for rebirth times, but rebirth times might be getting slightly faster. It probably will make rebirths a little bit faster and easier to do. I'm not going to say how, but okay, actually I can say this. It will not be by nerfing Yoko. Yoko will be staying balanced. But yeah, now we teleport over to Ghost World. We'll grab a boss there, either through event bait or whatever. And then we'll do the Great Guardian, and then we'll work on the rest of Yoko's quests up to quest 12. And then grab any bosses we can, and then head over to Backdoor to grind through there. Yeah, look at this. There's a Grim somewhere. There it is. I honestly do not know if that was someone beating me into the server and then using a vent bait, but hello. Honestly, people are probably going to be annoyed at the next update. Like it's going to be a fair update. It's just I just know from like what I'm going to have to post in like the patch notes that it's not going to be one of the updates that people really love. Despite it being like a really good update, and a really necessary update, they're going to hyperfixate on like a single patch note point, and it's going to be something. All right. Yeah, once we're done with this boss, we will have Yoko up to 6 out of 7, and then we'll just complete the rest of Gatekeeper for Guardian, or for Great Guardian for the last one. So not too much time left. And then once we're done with this, we actually is quest 7 or 13 the one that requires us to do 25 rare ghosts, or like 60 rare. See how many rare ghosts is it? It's like 65. 65 rare ghosts in the main hub. I'm fairly sure that's quest 13. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that's quest 13. Actually, no. That's quest 7. I'm fairly sure on quest 7 here. Is your stream lagging? Yeah, there's an off chance that my stream is lagging. Yeah, York, you have the same name in game. I can tell that it's you. Alright, sell, Gatekeeper, quest. I think it's items. Yeah, items. I'm 2 minutes behind pace. Oh no. Deadbolt. I am like 15 to 30 minutes behind pace. I think you're going to be fine. Okay, I should be using loot gum. Yeah, as I said, I'm not going to be... Oh, there we go. That took way too long. Yeah, I don't care about Dutchman right now. I'm doing Gatekeeper, and then I'm going to be going ahead and doing the Great Guardian for the last boss I need for Yoko. And then once we're done with that, we're swapping back to private servers for a few more quests. Until we get to the next boss quest for Yoko. Oh, is there? Okay, fighting progress. All right, we ditch. Private servers. Okay, yeah, the journal's still a little buggy when you open it quickly, but it's a little bit better. Yeah, there's a few things broken with the journal right now. I think as a most part, people don't actually mind the bugs too much. But yeah, I do need to look at it a little bit more, figure out what's going wrong logic-wise, and fix them, but I mind a lot. It literally resolves itself in like 3 seconds. You're going to be fine. Okay, maybe it's a little bit worse than I thought. All right. 3 seconds too long. Yeah. I think I'm just coding something wrong. There's probably an easy way to fix it. It's just it'd be something I would have to spend like 30 to 40 minutes just looking through everything that's going on and finding out why it's doing that specifically. Why it wasn't before or whatever. So I think the bigger issue is the fact that quests, like the tracking of the quest, doesn't actually appear visually when you talk to NPCs. Yeah, I realize I'm already behind. Like, server hopping's not efficient. Neither is my route. I mean, my route is like the opposite of efficient. But whatever. All right, here we go. Oh, okay, I'm ahead on Yoko. Yeah, that's the one thing I have going for me at the moment. Right now I do not have FPS going for me. Right now my FPS is kind of being a bad, but yeah. Why am I so slow right now? I feel like bosses, like every time I do a new boss, it gets more and more laggy. Like, will it always take 6 cycles to beat Great Guardian, or could it be changed to 3 in the future? For now, it's going to stay at 6. I don't really plan on changing too much of a lot of the bosses yet. I don't know how hard it would be to fix, but I imagine it would be fairly trivial. Honestly, it's not that difficult to fight as long as you aren't laggy. So one of the big things I want to do is fix, like, literally how laggy it is, because that is so much more of an issue than the fact it takes 6 cycles to beat at its best. All right, looks like we did manage to get the first 2 cycles done, so we aren't behind yet. Also looks like we were able to dodge his attack for whatever reason. But yeah. The thing is, taking forever, it's kind of meant to take forever. like, you know, like the fight for Great Guardian, I don't think it should be as fast as people like want it to be, like a bow or whatever. I think there's a reason to keep it quite long. I'm going to be doing it in a private server. There's really no reason to go into a public for it. I'm just going to be ending up overlapping with other people, and it's not going to be fun to get ghosts and items or whatever. You're now ahead of me on Great Guardian? Yeah, are you just like, not laggy or whatever? Yeah, lag is literally so much of an issue with these boss fights, so that when I do change stuff, that is the first thing I'm changing. I'm not going to be like touching like the, and it's honestly, it's harder to change the lag on these fights than it will be to like make an attack work differently or whatever. It will be interesting. Consistent 60? Yeah. No, you don't need a flex. Yeah, I'm only... Lag is like... It's one of those things where like half of it's Roblox and like half of it is... half of it's streaming at the same time in an older laptop. It's one of those things that's actually not as big of a deal as I make it out to be. It's not, except for like boss fights, where if you're playing on like mobile or something, there are times with like a final boss. There are people that are literally playing on devices so slow, they aren't able to shoot fast enough to defeat final boss. That is literally an issue that I know about, where you have to get carried by other people to be able to actually defeat that. That is quite a big issue. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and here, and I think teleport over to Yoko to go ahead and do him. And then we're going to go ahead and do these ghosts. And then we're going to go ahead. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think doing these ghosts before... I don't know. What are my laptop specs? It's like an 8. I was like 8 gigabytes. I think it has 8 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, let me look at the stickers that it has on it. It says it's a Core i7 8th gen. I have zero idea what that means. Yeah, it's not the worst laptop. It's a fairly decent laptop. It's a Lenovo. But it is also not a like gaming PC or whatever. It was like $600, $700, I think. Somewhere around there, 5 years old or whatever. Honestly, the age isn't actually that big of a deal. If you look at like computers, they aren't actually... have been some improvements in the last years, but there haven't been like as big of an improvement from like, you know, if you have like a 2012 laptop upgrading to a 2016 laptop or whatever, as going from like a 2016 to 2024. Not as much, or at least as far as I'm aware. I could be totally wrong. I'm not super involved with like laptop specs and whatnot, but that's at least what I've seen in technology is kind of it's slightly been slowing down in terms of speed. So the game will get less laggy in the future. Hopefully. I'm not the person to ask about optimization. I'm not the greatest at optimizing stuff. But yeah, that'll hopefully be something I can easily address in the future of Ghost Sim, is making the game less laggy for players. Hopefully, without breaking everything. I guess I could do that. Alright, we'll grab this, and then we'll head over to Ice Cave. And then we'll go ahead and... or, I guess... because we're going to have at least one find item on this quest, and then we're probably going to have a few other find items. No, we have one find item. And I think the other 3... Yeah, I guess we're having 2 find items on this part of the quest. And then we're going to have the other 3 in the last part. Oh, also, one of the things, like, okay, in the next update, I'm probably going to be removing the, antenna drops from the Ghost and Volcano, just because, like, as we've added more worlds, like, that's just one thing that's, like, been set in stone to not have the antenna parts drop from the last area, although I do think, actually, no, but that's also because it's needed. I guess, I was about to say, the Remnant world has antenna parts drop in the last area, and it also has it dropping in the bonus bound too, which is kind of funny. But I do think that in long term it is fine to go ahead and remove it. Remnant Zone does have the thing that does have upgrading to antenna level 30 with the Ghost from the last area, so it does kind of make sense for those to drop antenna levels. But I think in terms of consistency, removing them from Volcano makes quite a bit of sense. Oh, that was what I was going to go. Unless anyone's, like, super opposed to, removing those items, I'll probably be going ahead and doing that. I'm fairly sure 95% of people want it removed, and 4.8%, don't care, and then the other 0.2% are just going to be memeing about the fact that, antenna drops or whatever. Yeah, I think when the game first came out, there was sort of this idea that antenna drops would serve a bigger purpose, like continually going forward with upgrading stuff. And then they realized, oh wait, we're taking this game in a different direction with like Ghost World and whatever, and so it just ended up not happening. But yeah, that's just one of the things that a lot of people are like always ask about once they've realized that those items aren't ever going to be needed again. But yeah, I'm not touching Remnant Zone in terms of items. Like, all the antenna drops are staying as is in Remnant Zone. All the drop rates are staying as is. All that fun stuff that everyone complains about. But yeah, and for main hub at least, though, the some of that stuff will be removed. I'll probably also be this one's going to be one of the more controversial ones. Nerfing the gun rate for tusks, because that's a little overpowered in main hub. It's gonna be like down to like 50 for 3 instead of 50 for oh wow, this is that was interesting. That's like 60% of my basic. Yeah, it's going to be. It's not even going to be a 50% nerf. It's it's a 60%. But honestly, I think the other changes that are coming with the update will make it even like technically easier to get gum, despite that small nerf. It'll make it at least more balanced in terms of like actually getting the stuff. Actually, let me check. No, it's subtract. Okay. Honestly, I have no clue what's going on with this tracking or whatnot, because it's super inconsistent when it pops up. Oh, I guess it could be that. Huh, I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, right now we're server hopping in a private servers, which isn't ideal. You actually lose a little bit of time since it has to generate the whole world every time in a private server. But I think it pays off, since the next thing after this is we're going straight into backdoor or whatever. So having already been a private server for that makes quite a bit of sense. And for once we do autocomplete this quest, which is kind of a nice surprise. I always forget how much of Yoko's quest is find items. Like, it's actually kind of interesting. Anyways, we need yellow ring. And then we need the orange ring, which is up here. And then we need the green ring. Please lag, you mind? Alright, we're just standing here until we get better FPS because we can't actually, like, climb in height unless we're not laggy, so, like, look at this. This is me jumping. There we go. 34 FPS, now we can jump. Maybe eventually. It's going to stay as is for a while, like, a lot of changes, guys. I've realized this as a dev. There's only so much I can add in one update. And before I'd be like, oh yeah, add all these new features, and then complain that when they aren't added within like 2 months or whatever. But the thing is, like, devs, we already have, like, updates are planned out quite a bit in advance. Like, we're already thinking about Easter or whatever. So like suggesting stuff, it's like, if you suggest something to be like, oh yeah, like, if it's going to take a little bit of work to go ahead and do, like, I don't know, adding an NPC is a great example, but that's probably a bit more work than even like the minimum is. It's going to be one of those things where it is going to take like 3 to 4 months, even if we plan it to be like as soon as possible or whatever, before it actually gets added. Stuff will take a while. In terms of like small changes, like, yeah, I can do bug fixes. That's pretty easy for me to do. If it takes like 15 minutes for me to do it, I can squeeze it into pretty much any update. But like, if it's a big feature request or a largest change or whatever, then it might take a little bit longer. Anyways, back to Ghost World. 100 new antenna levels. Yeah. For instance, I don't think we're actually planning. I don't know when the next areas are planned. Like, it will take a while for us to do the next areas. Like, we had a lot of remnant zone, like, back to back to back to back, where people kind of, it really should have been spread out across a few more months or whatever, for all that content. But we got it super quickly. Now we have to kind of take well, we're new devs, so we're figuring out stuff. But we're going to take a little bit of time to fill out a few other things that kind of been forgotten in the rush of adding Remnant Zone. Like the pet storage quest, I think, is a good example. Honestly, there's a few other things I kind of want to add before we do anything more. But honestly, there's so much stuff I want to add before moving on that I'm going to have to, like, put some of the stuff like, oh, I want to do, like, balancing Ghost World or whatever. I am not touching, I don't think we're actually balancing Ghost World for a few more, like, middle of July at the soonest or whatever. Probably late in the fall, like, you know, middle of October almost. And like, balancing Ghost World is something that I want to do, but there's just, I don't have time for that in like this update or next update or whatever, or really I can't imagine that it's going to be a super important thing in the near future. Anyways, let's go ahead, burn this. Starting blaze now. Yeah, I'm a little bit behind, but I also have some more of Yoko done than you do, I think. I hope. Anyways, I'm only like 15 minutes away from actually starting blaze, so it's not that bad. I imagine balancing Ghost World will be the hardest world to balance aside from main hub, I guess. There's less than, like, here's the thing about balancing some of these worlds. Once I do a, not this update, next update. So not the one next Friday, the one 2 weeks after that. Balancing will be made quite a bit clearer on like what's actually needed. All right, 5 bosses are mini bosses. Now we go ahead and head into back door. But yeah, once I get that update out, I think a lot more people will be able to see like what exactly needs to be balanced. I think it'll just make the game a lot more clear after that. So, like right now, people would probably think like balancing, oh, you need to go change every single quest line. Yeah, we aren't able to use a gum because, or aren't able to use gum because we used one for bunny gum, but I don't think that's too big of an issue, yet. Especially since we're spending a lot of this time just upgrading our battery. Oh, yeah. I guess I can say what's planned for the update after next. Probably. Nah, I can. That's something I've said before. Clueless. The quest book bug is bugging me so now. I'm sorry. I'll fix it eventually. It's just... I honestly do not know why it popped up. I do know that it is my fault. I just, I don't know, looking at the code, where my code differs so much from what was there before, that it's causing the issue. It honestly won't be too hard to fix. It'll just be making sure like everything else works properly or whatever afterwards. Is going to be a pain. Basically, if you open your journal really quickly after joining a server or whatever, it'll go ahead and flash a lot of like all the quests. Actually, all the quests that you have in your journal or in your like data store that you've even completed. So like all the permanent ones will flash up like as a weird quest or whatever. I think before people could very occasionally see this with just a single quest that appeared. But right now it's like every single quest will flash whatever. So yeah, it's a little bit weird. Honestly, fixing it isn't going to be that difficult. It's just going to take my 30 minutes to figure out how to correctly adjust for it without breaking everything else. Honestly, there's... The journal is kind of... I know I said it was... Like, it is a pretty big improvement to the journal. I think having the quest you have tracked at the top... I think people like that quite a bit. I don't think that was the way... Actually, was that before? I feel like... Were track quests always at the top of the journal? I don't think they were they? So, you know... Anyways, but yeah, there are definitely some new features that people like, and then there's definitely the fact that I broke like half the stuff that was there before. I can't remember a lol. Yeah, no, sometimes I think that's it. Like, I think that's it with a lot of like UI changes. Like right when it comes out, people are either like, "Ooh, super good UI, super bad UI." Give people like, you know, 2 weeks. They aren't going to remember what the difference was. Like, for instance, the journal used to be this whole thing in the middle of your screen. Like, very similar to what the inventory currently is. Honestly, I don't think anyone remembers that. Bugs are like the Hydra? Yes. Yeah, this is one of the things that I've learned in, like, programming. Like, you can either have, like, there's this trifecta of stuff. You can either have a really, alright, you can either patch bugs, optimize the game, or add features. If you do any of those ones, like adding a feature or whatever, you are going to introduce bugs and make the game laggy. If you optimize the game, you are going to introduce bugs. If you start removing bugs, you're going to make the game laggier. or not be able to add new features, or add new bugs. So pretty much whatever you do on those, you're going to have to balance it out with the rest of it. It's kind of an interesting thing. Like, you either optimize the game or you patch bugs. There's a balancing act there. Yeah, badges are actually pretty broken. Honestly, half the time you join a server, your badges won't load. This is a known issue. I tried to fix it in the last update by adding a little bit of the timing offset to stuff, which actually slightly helped. But yeah, if we still open our F9 menu, like, half the time you'll have a bunch of badges not loading. Also, the badges in general is just, the journal in general is just super laggy. Like, whenever you switch to pets or boards, you have this lag period where it generates all of these view frames or whatever. Which, this one is definitely not my fault. This one existed long before I came. Same thing with ghosts, to a lesser extent, just because there's less ghosts. But yeah, it's you know, not all of the bugs in the game are my fault. Like I patched some stuff. Like, you can scroll all the way down in your badge journal now. You weren't able to do that before. Will there ever be more badges added to the game? Yes. 100%. Will they be added soon? Probably not. Alright, we'll unlock this. Probably grab a few items while we're here. Then figure out where in the world we can't... Alright, that should be enough. Yeah, there aren't any for Remnant Zone. Honestly, I don't know what the plan is for a Remnant Zone in terms of, like, badges for NPCs. Alright, there we go. I should probably grab a few more. Alright, there we go. Let's head over here. Yeah, the thing is, I'm also using glitchy loot gum instead of enchanted loot gum or whatnot. So, I do have that little bit of a... it's going to be a little bit harder because of that for me to... I'm going through backdoor a little bit slower because of that. Not significantly. I don't think glitchy versus enchanted is actually as big of a deal as some people make it out to be. But in terms of straight up time, it will be a little bit more time needed. Alright, this does allow us to upgrade our disruptor, which should help. Honestly, there probably should be a badge for Associate Archie or whatever. It isn't going to be a high priority to add badges for this stuff. It's one of those things, like, who actually cares about badges? I say that, like, there are people that legitimately play Ghost Simulator for the badges or whatnot. I don't understand it, but it is the case. But in terms of, like, actual gameplay, there's much bigger things to worry about than badges for the game. Yeah, glitchy in general is just... It's so much easier to get glitchy than it is to get enchanted that pretty much all the lazy players like myself will go ahead and use glitchy, whereas all the hardcore players will go ahead and use enchanted because it's strictly better. This is why I keep it off. Yeah, no, honestly, being a YouTuber or yeah, being a YouTuber, developer is a little bit different. But being a YouTuber, people wouldn't really ask for stuff from my inventory, really. Not like specifically, like I had my inventory open pretty much the whole time. But people wouldn't be asking for like, oh, can I have a specific pet? Or now they do ask a little bit more now that I'm a developer. I think it's more of just actually, no, they don't see my name as much, but I don't know. I don't have that much experience with people asking for stuff specifically, or generally I'll respond with, hey, use this code or whatever. The 2 years code is a fairly good one to tell people to go ahead and use, since it's pretty broken. But yeah, definitely begging and closing inventories is a little bit helpful. I honestly find it annoying when I can't view people's inventories, but that's just me. I understand there's a lot more that it solves and it hurts. But yeah. Hello, Ian. I only care about badges right now because the only one you need is the collide with a dev. Yeah. I mean, I'll eventually join back into Publix for more bosses or whatever. Alright, there we are. We should probably go make sure we have enough to unlock Beehive, grab a few ghosts from Beehive really quick. And then grab just a few more items overall. Oh wow, we are really low on items. Okay. I'll ask later. I'll ask later in Discord. Okay, cool. So we are technically not as far behind as I would think. Yeah, I think most people would, like, other than Remnant Guardian, which literally requires you to play with 2 players if you want to do it efficiently, most people prefer to do Mega Bosses solo, so, like, it is kind of hard to find people willing to do it. I do at some point want to get private servers up and working again for, like, people to be able to do stuff together in there. It's probably not, actually, yeah, it's not going to be a next update. It might be in the update after, depending on how much stuff I have to do. Probably not, though. It's just one of those things I have on my to-do list more than anything else. Which, my to-do list at this point is so long I've forgotten half of it, so, yeah. Yeah, good luck with Yoko. I'm definitely not, a few quests ahead of you on that one. I think overall, though, I'm like 2 or 3, or actually, I know, I'm like 5 minutes behind you now. Even though you started like 30 minutes after I did. Alright, that should allow us to go ahead and unlock the Beehive. And then we'll go ahead and grab this boss. We'll grab... Oh, I should have done this in a public server. No, I should have done this in private server. What am I thinking? Yeah, I know what you mean. It's definitely kind of boring to do stuff on your own sometimes. I would suggest just like listening to a YouTube or watching YouTube videos on the side, listening to music, something like that. Maybe playing Minecraft on the side. I don't know what you like to do. But try to do something else while doing something boring like that or monotonous, and then that'll help a little bit. But yeah. Yeah, when some of my streams do a lot better than others, and I think it's just like content. Like rebirths are always more popular than when I do like hard mode or whatnot. And then Minecraft streams are just really bad in terms of viewers. And I mean, looking at my channel, that makes sense. Like, I am like 95% of my content is Ghost Simulator. So anytime I do anything not Ghost Simulator related, all those 95 or like, you know, 80% of those people don't even watch it because like people come to me for Ghost Simulator, not Minecraft. They certainly don't come for me for something silly like a random Steam game. But yeah, at some point I do need to expand my YouTube channel out to be a little bit more stuff, especially now that I'm a developer for the game. It's probably going to be a little bit harder to, little bit weirder to be doing game content for the game I develop, especially when it comes to like providing guides on like game passes to buy. Anything in terms of like buying stuff with Robux in the game, it's weird being a developer. I can't really tell people like, hey, you should buy this. Hey, you shouldn't buy this. What's worth it and what isn't. Like, I know as a player what I would consider good, but as a developer, like, I'm literally financially, like, there is stuff where I'm benefiting if you guys buy stuff. So there's some bias there. Conflict of interest. But yeah. That seems like a very much you issue on terms of that. Like, I'm not saying no one else will have that issue, but what I am saying is that I don't think that will be, that's a very important or common position to be in. I think the easy way to do that is like, you know, convert all but one of your butterflies or whatever before you go ahead and rebirth. You know, so that you can't actually upgrade until you actually get a remnant zone and get an item. You know, I think that's a fairly easy workaround that is probably less work than me adding a setting that you guys will have to remember to toggle. Like, I'm not saying it shouldn't be a setting, I just don't think it's worth the development time for that setting. I've already said this stream, but I'm planning on doing our next update is actually going to have some reduction in some of the boss timers, so it won't be as annoying. Specifically, like any of the really long timers for like shorter boss fights will probably be reduced. But yeah, so small reduction in those timers. I think in the end, adding the end goal is going to be to add multiplayer into private servers. So leaving those timers as is for private servers for the time being is probably going to be the thing, since eventually, if multiple people can be in the same private server, having the longer timer actually makes sense. Whereas right now they're kind of just solo servers, where it doesn't really make sense, since you're literally waiting 30 seconds to a minute for no one else to show up. But yeah. Yeah, but specifically for boss mode, like, reducing that timer from a minute to 30 seconds just shaves off, like, 16% of the overall fight time. It's kind of ridiculous. Just how much of your time is spent waiting on that fight. I think it's around 5 to 7 minutes. I don't know specifically. I think it's the same as all the other remnant or all the other ghostly visions, which I think is 7.5 minutes. But I don't know for exactly. It is shorter than the Spade Harbinger. That's a really weird word. Harbinger. I don't know. I always want to put like Harbinger or whatever. But that's not how it's spelled or pronounced. Oh, I am doing... There are so many other crazy changes I am... Yeah. Changes that I have planned that, like, that's, like, quality of life stuff is literally not going to even touch it. A lot of these I've talked about and you guys are already aware of. Or you guys could be aware of if you watch some of my videos. Like, a lot of that stuff is planned on being added at some point. But yeah, I think it's 16%. I don't think that's going to change too much. Maybe I'll make the fight just a wee bit harder or whatever. I don't know. Probably not. But that is always a possibility, is just making the fight a little bit harder to go ahead and compensate for that. It's a new era of Ghost Simulator. Yeah. Yeah, it might be, honestly. Like, people are like, oh yeah. I was kind of worried that I would overhype being a developer for Ghost Simulator. Like, people would see me as the developer be super overhyped and then I'd underdeliver or something. And honestly, that still might be the case. But for the time being, we can at least meme on it. No, there are no new no new Rebirth perks. There is 3 new perks in Remnant Zone, I think. There's a permanent magnet from Jack's questline. Not Jack's questline, Jack questline. It's the Remnant Jack. It's, you know. Anyways, just go into Remnant Zone, you'll figure it out. There's also another one from Ghost Hunter, or not Ghost Hunter, Remnant Spade with the parachute ability. And then there's a auto shield blaster, which will automatically fire at bosses with their shields up for you in like mega boss fights. Yeah, other than that, there's not anything too insane, and none of those perks are, other than Permanent Magnet. Permanent Magnet is broken, and I really wish they never added that. Not to the point where I'm removing it. There are some other things that I might be removing from the game that were added. Yeah, there are things. How many perks can you upgrade after a Rebirth? Better gem grinding method, please. I do plan on doing some revamps to the grinding in Ghost Simulator. None of it's going to be super soon. But yeah, a lot of it will involve shaking up how gem grinding works, making it a little bit more balanced. Not nerfing, definitely not nerfing some of the broken stuff like Rebirth. And yeah, other like quality of life, making like everything everything a little bit better is the plan. Anyways, we are here. We'll hopefully burn the rest of this loot gum and then go ahead and buy any. Actually, no, we'll be fine. Clueless. I probably should have talked to Blaze first. Yeah, no, I've already said that I am planning on doing that at some point. I do want to make sure, when I'm rebalancing Ghost World, which I've already said this stream, not going to happen anytime soon, like middle of October, 6 to 8 months out. But when I do rebalance Remnant or Ghost World, I do plan on making Shelly reset when you rebirth. After I go ahead and nerf her quest line to actually be, you know, reasonable for a new player. Like not have 40 mermaid ghosts or whatever. Anyways, now that we're onto this, I think we have. Do we have a mini boss spawn here? And then if not, let's just go. I can't remember the order. But yeah. Yeah, Shelly being permanent doesn't make sense. I think people appreciate it. Yeah, okay, it's not spawned yet. Alright, let's go public servers. Alright, server hopping for Blaze. Commence. Yeah, no, it's... I think once the quest is easier, though, people will be fine with it. Like, that's the thing. 5 pets versus 4... Or 5 pets versus 6 pets or 3 pets versus 4 pets actually doesn't make a huge difference for rebirths. Ooh, perfect. Like, like, more pets doesn't really improve your rebirth time or whatever. And if it's easy enough, like, it only takes, like, an hour and a half to do or whatever, an hour to do. Maybe I'll make it... Yeah, okay, I can do that. People will be able to be like, oh yeah, it's no big deal just to redo it when I need a grind for stuff specifically like gems. Like, it's one of those things where it's not going to be controversial to do that. Like, if it's easy enough, people are going to be like, oh yeah, I can just redo it. I think the same thing should have been done with Jesse. Instead of just adding a permanent magnet perk, they should have just made Jesse easier. Next update. Spoilers. But, you know, it is what it is. I can't really remove the permanent magnet ability. Okay, I can. But in terms of, like, community stuff, not really worth... Not really worth it to go ahead and remove it. Anyways, let's go ahead and grab these ghosts really quick for this, and then we'll do a quick check on our items, I guess, and see if we need any more main hub items. Not that I actually know how many main hub items I need, but like making sure I have like 10 to 100 of all of them really quickly now. Yeah, let's see. We have enough ancient tusks. Cool. Artifacts we should have enough. Blockspike tokens we need more of. Doubloons we have enough. Pearls. No, pearls we should be good on. Diamonds we're good on. Hammers we're good on. Sheriff badges I think we're good on. Meteorites we're good on. Bars we're good on. Yeah, we should be good. Newspapers, socks, tires. Perfect. Jesse isn't easier yet. Anyways, bye C14. Next update. Next update, guys. Oh. Oh, yeah, I can use the quest journal for server hopping faster. Second boss quest for Yoki now. Yeah, I'm halfway done with that quest. It's totally... Actually, no, I am. Wow, okay. No reason to do that. Wait, what's happening to permanent magnet after you make Just easier? Nothing. It's... There's not much I want to do on that. Like, it's just going to be kind of controversial for me to go ahead and nerf it. Also, let's go ahead and grab this boss wherever it is. Wherever it is definitely a... Don't despawn anomaly. I'm coming. There it is. But yeah, this will be 4th boss for Yoko. Alright, we've Yeah, okay, we need to kind of do it completely because this person's struggling. Alright, I guess while we're waiting for that, we'll go ahead and do the items for backdoor, because I do need to go ahead and unlock the Blocksmite HQ and grab a lot more of these items, so no, actually, as a developer, I am in charge of coding. There's this fancy thing called a team that we have where the other person is technically in charge of the lore. I will probably have a little bit of a say in the lore, but not a huge amount. For the most part, it is going to be the other developer, Dark Thunder, that will be managing lore for Ghost Simulator. So I can continue to go ahead and not be at all interested in the lore of the game. Hello, Geo. Oh, because of the boss. Anyways, we're going to use the rest of this loot gun, then we're going to hop back to grabbing the main hub quests. Alright, that should be all the items we need. I think we only need like 1 or 2 drops from here, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Well, it might be super difficult if we, for instance, don't get any badge drops. Wow. There we go. Actually, teleport to Blaze, we do probably need a few more of these. There we go. And then, hopefully... Perfect. Yeah, and then we can go ahead and do board crate. I'm actually trying to make a game right now. Do you have any tips for learning code? Sorry, if this is off topic. No, that's fine. Honestly, okay, one of the things that really helps, is... I hate saying this, but like actually having a few classes to like know how to code. There's probably some YouTube videos that can help you. But like trying to find some place to start is like the best. I honestly, a lot of like the starter learn how to code areas I hated and I did not understand from them. A lot of it is like literally just figuring out yourself. So figure out some easy way to like actually code. Whether this is literally using like an online, I know there's some online stuff. I don't have a good example for you guys right now. But like finding some place where you can sit down and like code, like even if it's as simple as using Scratch. Actually, yeah, Scratch is a decent one. Where you can go ahead and actually like code without having to like learn how like the syntax. You can drag and drop with the blocks and stuff. Is a pretty good way to do. Figure out the logic behind that, and then like once you understand the logic, then like move into like actually like writing code for stuff. Like make it simple. Make it be like, oh yeah, how do I turn a block of color? And literally just change the color on something. And then like just try the simplest stuff. Figure out how the simple stuff works. Figure out how to write. Then figure out how to build it bigger and bigger and bigger from there. But yeah, Scratch I think is a good place to start. And then like once you figure out the logic from Scratch, trying to figure out where you can like some place to turn text into script writing or whatever, coding for stuff. A lot of it really depends on where you are at knowledge. Like some people when they ask, okay, how do I code a game? They know nothing about it. They don't know how to like where to even start. Sometimes when people ask, how do I make a game? They're asking like, oh, how do I get the game published or whatever, and stuff like that. It's like simple questions. Sometimes like you need a little bit more context. You do not need 15 moon badges. You need... Oh, yeah, you just need 15 moon badges. I thought you said I need 15 more moon badges, what was what you're trying to say. Yeah, I was fairly sure it was a small amount, but... No, you have to collide with me. You have to touch me in-game, unfortunately. When I do another boss, like, we might have a boss here in main hub. Actually, I need to use a bunny gum really quick. EU servers, my nemesis. But yeah, glitchy bunny gum. Literally collide, yes. Yeah, you literally need to touch a dev in game. You don't need to be in their server. You literally need to touch them. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm probably not the best person to ask. Like, coding just comes super naturally to me. Like, I went through 4 years of, actually, I have a bachelor's degree right here, to prove it. But yeah, I went through 4 years, so I've quite a bit of experience with coding. It came pretty naturally to me because it felt like all my classes were easy. It's like, there are some things like the logic of it, I didn't have to really worry too much about logic. Because I have a very, I got really lucky, with, like, being able to understand, like, math and stuff. Like, I know a lot of people, struggle understanding math in school. I really understood math going through school, so I didn't have to worry about, like, the logic part of it, which is something that really is really hard to teach. But yeah. So... when I say, like, oh yeah, you need to do this simple thing or whatever, it's not that simple. Like, someone who, like, I know Ghost Simulator, like, telling someone how to, like, grind gum, I find grinding gum super easy, and I kind of don't really understand why some people struggle with it. But if you try explaining, like, a new player how to grind gum, you're gonna need to explain what gum is. You don't, like, as a player that's played this long, you don't even realize that new players need that context. So same thing with, like, learning math, language arts, a lot of that stuff. You just don't even really think about what people need. Anyways, defeat any boss once. That'll work perfectly for us, as we need one more boss for Yoko. Mini boss incoming. There's probably an anonymous spawn somewhere that we can snag. Assume nothing about a student's ability. Yeah, no, it is actually pretty difficult to know what a new player, like, sees in a game. Like, in Ghost Simulator, like, I know the first time I joined... Okay, there's an anonymous. Alright, we've hit it once. We don't need to worry too much. Oh, look, that's someone in chat. I already got him a thank you. Yeah, no. Every time I join servers, I literally try to touch as many people as I can in, like, the main hub of, like... Or when I'm not, like, doing streams or whatever. I'm trying to beat Deadpool with my Rebirth time. Which, spoiler alert, we've already gone over the 2-hour mark, I think. No, we haven't. We are 5 minutes short of the 2-hour mark. But yeah, we are almost there. I think that person... I already have it too. Oh, everyone has it already. But yeah, no, as a new player to Ghost Simulator, like, I saw Ghost Simulator so much differently than I do now. I remember on my first time playing, like, I load into it, I read the signs in the forest. How many of you guys have read the signs in the forest? Like, ever? Or actually, I don't think forest is the best example. I don't think there's any signs in any other worlds. But, like, you guys don't go around trying to read signs or whatever now that you've played the game for a year or whatever. Anyways, we're going to go talk to Blaze, and then we're going to go to other Blaze. Whoa. Yoko! I have one too many quests in my journal. Just finished Yoko's second boss. So did I. So you're probably going to beat me by a solid 20 to 30 minutes. As I said, you need to give me about an hour head start for it to be super close. There we go. Look at that quest loading. Speed of light. Alright. I do believe we swap over to a private server for this and the rest of oh my goodness. You're trolling, Deadbolt. I'm sorry. Guess we're going to be stealing each other's ghosts. No, I'm joking. I'll go. I have other private servers. I can go find a different one. Anyways. Are we allowed to join you? Yes. I have my joins on, and people are allowed to join me. Right now I'm joining some random friend's private server because one of my random friends stole my private server. Actually, I don't even think I'm Deadbolt's friend. I just have it posted literally everywhere, so... Anyways, yeah. Now I'm stealing another one of my friends' private servers. Mainly so I don't interrupt Deadbolt, because he has a pace going on. He's probably on like a two hour, 28-minute pace would be my guess at this point. Yeah, guys, about the pending friend requests. I'm sorry to the 400 people that I have pending friend requests. I'll go through and decline them at some point. Like, I'm sure there are I'm sure there's at least one of the other developers for Bloxbite that has sent me a friend request and it's sitting in my pending. I'm fairly confident in saying that. If they have sent me a friend request, they may have not sent me a friend request. I don't know if I'm that important, but your Jedi mind tricks do not work on me, Deadbolt. A mini Grim? Maybe. I mean, the thing is, like, mini bosses don't really get mini versions of themselves. Oop. That's kind of, or I guess that's not really fair to say. There's technically a mini version of Anomaly. There's technically a mini version of Present. That one's an event one. I guess all the Remnant ones have mini versions of them. I don't know. I don't plan on adding a mini Grim anytime in the near future, but maybe eventually. Probably not, though. Yeah, there is technically Reaper. It's actually slightly different than how the other mini bosses work. Or mini bosses work. Or mini pet bosses. pet mini bosses? How would you phrase that? Because they're already mini bosses. They're mini bosses. But yeah. Anyways. I mean, maybe at some point. You know, if we ever need like an update idea, we'll probably just do some meme stuff like that, where it's like, oh yeah, we added 5 pets and 6 boards, haha. Where it's everyone will like, yay, for the whole of 3 hours before everyone has one, sort of deal. But yeah. Mini boss pets. Micro bosses. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just whatever you want to call them, but... There's no official name for them. Alright, I'm sure Deadbolt now has all the rare ghosts he needed for this quest done. And so we are officially behind on, like, every single metric. But, you know, until he says that, we're going to pretend we are ahead. No, Lucky Cat still probably falls into the void. There are definitely ways that could be, fixed, but it's not high on my, list of stuff to do because, like, okay. Who grinds Lucky Cat 1? And then 2, who grinds Lucky Cat in Ghost World? Yeah, we are way behind on that quest. I'm going to blame it on you stealing my private server, when in fact it's just me being laggy and like slow at rebirths, but you know. Yeah, there is still that one spawn that is just slightly too close to an edge so it falls off. The funny thing, it happens to ghost in like the crypt area of Remnant Zone, but because it is a bonus biome, there are server side blocks that like prevent people from coming in like when you don't have the biome unlocked. But since those are server side stuff, they still exist on the server, so the ghosts will get caught on them. So the ghosts won't actually fall into the void; they'll just look like they're flying. Which so many people have found. It's kind of like every other day you see someone like, oh, look at these ghosts flying in crypt, ha ha ha. It's actually kind of getting slightly annoying for me. But it is the case that those get saved, whereas Lucky Cat, there's nothing to save it from the infinite void in Ghost World. Oh, nice. Yeah, actually, Venus flytraps and like other carnivorous plants are kind of cool. I don't know exactly how much care they take. I mean, you definitely need to feed them, I assume, and probably water them still and all that stuff. But yeah, definitely having something cool like that is kind of fun. I've never been the best at taking care of like stuff, especially like anything smaller than a cat. Honestly, things bigger than a cat I'm not the best at taking care of either, but at least they can come walk over to me and sit on my lap to beg me for stuff. Was Duxfire inspired by the Venus flytrap? I have no idea. I don't think so. But honestly, I don't really do the concept stuff. All right, done with that. Let's teleport to Yoko. Deadbolt, as the owner of the Venus flytrap, you do your research, figure out what your pet needs. Even if it's just a plant, figure out what it needs to stay alive and to thrive. Happy Valentine's. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Valentine's Day, like, it's not as big of an... Okay, like, for kids, there's candy involved, and that makes it a decent holiday. Like, occasionally there's candy involved. But, like, the important piece of it, like, I mean, it's not that important for everyone else. I got it as a present today. Yeah, I mean, no, but since it's yours now, you do need to go do research on, like, how to feed it, how to keep it alive and stuff like that. Like, same thing with any pet you guys get. Even if you guys, like, don't get it as... If you don't get yourself, get it as a present or whatever. Kind of in charge of making sure it doesn't die. And, you know, it's not that hard to do. It just requires actually thinking about it. We probably should have swapped over to public servers for this. Yeah, okay. I think the next time we need a main hub, we'll swap over to public servers for Yoko. Right now, it just takes too long to go ahead and serve hop. All right, that's officially, or I guess we're way past it, or we're like 5 minutes past the 2-hour mark now. As I said it at the start of this stream, I expect this to be about 3 to 4 hours. Honestly, we are not at a bad pace. I think we probably going to be around 3 hours, 30 minutes. All right, lovely. We have a pet team just for this. Honestly, I have no idea why it only has 5 pets. Actually, no, I do know why it only has 5 pets, because I gave away all my sandstorms. Actually, talking about that. Sandstorm slot. Because that code is still tradable. That code was made tradable and hasn't been expired yet. I should probably ask whether I can expire a lot of the still active codes like that one. And then just go ahead and do it because y'all don't need access to those overpowered codes still. Okay, Google says to feed them a bug once a week. Yeah, then do that. Yeah, I mean, it's really with Google. Like, the funny thing about Google, okay, not specifically in this case, but like other cases, you'll have this like question, like, ooh, what was one that I got asked at one point? Oh, no, okay, just one for like myself. Like, I will be like wondering, how do I do this thing? Like, for me, it'd be like working on like my car or something. And I'd be like, okay, ask my dad, like, okay, how do I do this thing on my car? He's like, I don't know, go like, he's like, he'll go Google search it for me or whatever. Maybe not necessarily specifically like that. But like, it's a lot easier sometimes to ask other people on how to do stuff than to remember to Google it sometimes. I think specifically when you have like questions or like wondering how to do something, it's like really easy to just go like, oh yeah, how do you do this? Ask someone else. And then they will go do the Google search for you on what you need to do. And then bring that information back to you because like, and it happens like, I don't, maybe not all the time, but it happens like pretty frequently where it's like, oh yes, someone asks you, okay, how do I do this? And you go Google search it and then respond with that answer. And like, I mean, because you don't know. But, oh, we do need to unlock that. Actually, that shouldn't be too difficult. Does the Rift code still work? Yes. I think Rift, Firefly, and Dave, or I think it's Space or whatever, are planning on staying forever. They aren't as good, so it doesn't matter as much. But yeah, I think I think the plan is to not have those expire. The other codes, though, are probably going to expire at some point. Alright, there we go. Done with Ghost Hunter Yoko. Alright, and then we'll be able to do Grim and Jolly Roger here, and then we'll be able to go ahead and do swap over to a public server to go ahead and do the last 3 bosses for Yoko. Also, I cannot tell you guys how nice it is to be able to do that instead of having to go the long way for this tunnel. What codes are there that still works? Go check the wiki. I'm not up to date on all that stuff. There's like Blockspec 500k, 1 year, 2 years. Duck, I think. No, not Duck. Anyways, there's a few other random codes that still work like that. It's just a random assortment of codes. Actually, most of them are milestone rewards, so I don't know whether or not those are being expired. But yeah. Duck. No, it was some... Okay, let me go check the wiki. I think this one's marginally up to date. No, corn, sorry, not duck, corn. Which is the weird one. That one probably will be expired. The End might not be... Oh, perfect. Boss for us. The End might not be expiring soon, and Play probably... Actually, Play, I don't know whether or not that will be expired. But yeah, Corn will definitely expire. The End will probably expire. Play will probably expire. And then I don't know with Blockspec 500k, 2 years and 1 year. I don't know if those will expire or not. Space Rift and Firefly should stay, and then Pugs are cool. Actually, I should do some briefing. Oh goodness. Anyways, yeah, the other 2 codes, Together and Not My Blaze, are going to expire within the next by the next update, so those aren't as important. Anyways, yeah, if you guys want to join me, I am going to be in the main hub server for now. I guess I said I would go ahead and stay for the mini bosses, but you know, I didn't, so whatever. Yep, we are 5 bosses behind Deadpool. And 2 hours and 20. Okay. Yeah, that's about what I said you were going to be doing like a 2 hour and 28 minute or whatever. At this, like, you know, 30 minutes ago. So I am looking at around a 3 hour and 30 minute. I think right now. Which is about my normal. Honestly, I'm a little bit too laggy while streaming to really do Rebirth speedruns. Oh, there's something else I was supposed to... There's something else I was supposed to do while I was in main hub. I guess I probably shouldn't be doing, like, the entirety of these bosses, but whatever. Like I'm literally just... Actually... No, I'm literally just wasting time right now. Hopefully, because I could have spent like half that time on a different boss if the different boss is spawned, which it does appear to be. You know, that's what speedrunner strats are for, which would probably save like straight up like 10-20 minutes on this Rebirth without actually improving my lag situation at all. Yeah, I know that. I just don't do it. It's part of it's just streaming, honestly. I'm distracted with streaming a little bit, but it's not your guys' fault. It's just my fault. But yeah, I don't think it's as big of a deal as you'd think for some of the stuff. Even if we were optimizing this, we'd still be like 20 minutes faster, I think, for bosses maximum. Which, honestly, going from a 3 hour and 30 minute time to a 3 hour 10-minute time, not a big deal. It's not as big as going from like a 2 hour 30 to a 2 hour 10. Which ice cream flavor is my favorite? Okay. Okay, I should explain this. With food, I am really actually pretty much with everything. I'm a really big fan of stuff that's more plain than anything else. Not like super plain, like, oh, bread plain. But like where like if I'm given like a pizza option, I would go for like a cheese pizza over like a pepperoni pizza. Sometimes I do enjoy pepperoni pizza. It's just if given the option, I would go cheese pizza. I just like the simpler stuff. With ice cream, there's this one flavor from Tillamook. I don't know if that's it's almost definitely an American brand. I don't know if that's just a West Coast brand, so all the other Americans in my chat will be like, huh, what's Tillamook? Anyways, it's a pretty big dairy producer, at least around where I'm at. I think it's Oregon-based, so one state down from me. Anyways, it might be popular in the rest of the U.S. I don't know. It definitely isn't going to be popular anywhere else because the United States is really good at mass-producing dairy and meat and all that fun stuff, and overproduces on half that stuff. Anyways, there's this flavor on it. It's called malted moose shake, I think, where it's just kind of this vanilla with chocolate like chunks in it, more or less. Not really vanilla. It's technically more of a malted, but it's like a really smooth, good tasting flavor of ice cream. And even though it's like literally vanilla colored, it isn't actually vanilla tasting. It's something else that's much better than vanilla. But yeah. Anyways, that's probably my favorite kind. In terms of like generic kinds, like not including like specific stuff like that, probably. Oh, that was what I was supposed to do. Blaze's quest while I was in main hub. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, in the east, the brand is in stores. Okay, good. I just sometimes stuff like that. I don't know how big the company is outside of like where I'm at. Like, there's sometimes where I say something in stream. Mini boss incoming. Check for the Rebirth ones. I don't think there is any, but yeah, none. Okay, we'll go do Blaze now. What is it? What is it around here? That I was thinking was super big and like half of you guys have no idea what it was. Yeah, I can't remember. There was something I mentioned in one of my previous streams. Where I was like, I mentioned it as if it was like some normal brand and people didn't know what it was, and I had to go explain it, and I'm like, okay, yeah. But no, that's just one of the things I try to stay aware of, is explaining exactly what stuff is. Boss event next in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds. This will be a nice one. All right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do this. Touch this boss, and then we'll go ahead at the same time go do the one in Wild West, because this will count as 2 bosses for us. What did I need for oh, pyramid. I guess when we finish this boss, we'll go do the pyramid really quick. Hello, Sam. If you're already a dev, is it just for fun? I still will play this game for fun as a developer. The purpose is to go ahead and get more Remnant Tycoons, so I can go ahead and grind more gems for getting some of the endgame classifieds. Like, that's just one of the things as a developer. I don't think I can't play the game. So, you know, until like I'm told otherwise, hey, you're a developer, why are you playing this game legitimately? In a way that actually makes sense. I'm just going to play it for fun. Wait for you. No, go ahead and do your Rebirth as fast as you can. I am being slow on Rebirth, so you might have to wait a little bit. Do I play other Roblox games? Currently I am actually playing Pet Sim 99 a little bit. In terms of other Roblox games though, not really. There's yeah, there's really not much that I really play at the moment in terms of Roblox games. I mean, in the past, I've played Murder Mystery 2 a lot, but that's, for many reasons, I personally will never touch Murder Mystery 2 again. Despite having, like, a massive inventory, it's ridiculous. Honestly, I've given away, like, so much of it, and yet I still have so much more, it's kind of bad. But yeah, there are other games I've played that I really like. Stalker Reborn was a decent one. It's kind of dead now. It doesn't really get updates. Epic Minigames I played a lot. I don't play it as much now, but I'm like level 40-ish on it. Not super involved. Beast Swarm Simulator I played for a little bit. Miner's Haven I played quite a bit of. I'm trying to think if there's any others. Anyways, I think for this, we're going to go ahead and go grab main hub, grab Yoko really quick. Or go to Ghost World, grab Yoko's really quick, hopefully. Find a boss there. And then go continue working on Blaze. Did we touch that ring? No, we did not touch the ring. Guys, have I said how much I hate Roblox physics when you get laggy in the game? Like, you move slower. It's just a mess. You jump slower. It's like... Murder Mystery 2 in general is literally a joke. There are YouTubers for it. I don't know if they help develop it or anything. But I do know that a lot of players who played Murder Mystery 2 did play Ghost Simulator for at least a little bit. There's actually a huge overlap in the community. And by Murder Mystery 2 is a joke. I think it's a decent concept of a game. It was definitely, when it first came out, it was pretty good. I know I played Murder Mystery like extensively, like the original. It's a pretty good game design. I just think the fact that like it literally hasn't done anything different in the last 5, 6, 7 years. All right, we should probably just go touch Grim or something. Really just makes me like, as a game, it's just like, it is more or less just a cash grab-ish. Like, not exactly a cash grab. It's, you know, they still make stuff for it, but like, but the fact that it's just reusing the same thing over and over is kind of weird. Okay, where in the world's Grim? Am I blind? Yeah, I am blind. Okay. Oh, it's 88%. Lovely. I guess we'll go ahead and shoot it. Do you take screenshots with fans? I don't take the screenshots, but yeah, if you guys find me, you can take screenshots. But yeah, and then the economy of Murder 2 is really what I played the game for. I was a big trader, even though, like, honestly, looking back, the economy was so duped, literally anyone could make profit as long as they had some stuff. Like, it's just a really broken economy, though. It's so much dupe-filled. It's kind of a mess. Yes. Yeah, a lot of Murder Mystery 2 is really expensive stuff, and it really feels overpriced as a player, especially when like half the stuff you can buy for Robux is like so little in terms of actual trading value. It's kind of funny. Like, but just how rich, like, but like it literally works. It's like a super good business model, I assume. Since the game's been around so long and the player counts are up, whatever, just having all that expensive stuff, or hard to obtain stuff that's just kind of, like, really overpriced-ish. But you're able to find, like, the few people that can afford that, and then they spend it, and then you get rich, and you're able to, make little content go a long way. I mean, as a player, it's not fun, but as a developer, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Alright, let's go do this, and then we'll go ahead, Yoko, we need to go to, there, so we'll go ahead and go to main up. I'm gonna bump that time up to 2 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah, you know, as I said, 2 hours and 28 minutes was my guess, like, 45 minutes ago, so, nah, so, ideally, it's scripted so that you end on exactly 2 hours and 28 minutes, without any seconds extra or whatnot. But, you know, there's only so much you can do on the RNG on making sure it is actually, like, perfectly on the script. So, don't worry Deadbolt too much about it. Alright. Alright, done with Yoko. We'll go grab Yoko, turn Yoko, and then we'll do Blaze. Yeah, honestly, don't worry too much about it. Definitely don't specifically go on your way to land on 2 hours and 28 minutes, but do let me know how close you are to that, because I would find it really amusing if you were really close to that 2 hour and 28 minute guess that I gave a while ago. Yeah, okay, maybe this is slightly obnoxious. Honestly, the best way for you guys to get bugs patched is to go through the bugs report channels on Discord and leave them there. I do read those, and I do or when I go to like figure out what bugs need to be patched, I will go look through those. Like even if I'm talking about them here on stream, if there's a bug report for me to go look back on and to remind me about it, that's going to work so much better than like hoping for me to remember. Probably should be using the teleporters for this. Have I complained about lag recently enough in Ghost Simulator? When Zone is going to get its mini-map and teleports right? Yes, eventually. That is actually one of the things that we have planned at some point. It's just one of the process of actually doing that takes longer than you guys would think. Actually, someone actually pretty much documented the process. Now that I think about it in the Ghost Sim discussion, I was like, no, they need to commission an artist and do the map stuff, and it'll take a while. And I'm like, yeah, that is actually exactly what's going on right now. All right. But yeah, one of the things is you have to wait until a world's complete to go ahead and add the map. I don't know. Actually, no, I do know why Ghost World doesn't have one. It's the fact that quite literally it doesn't have any antenna upgrades. There we go. One hour and 58 minutes. Yeah, so that's going to be 15 minutes for final, unless you're using, like, boosted Photon Blaster gun, which 0 people use. Actually, funny enough about that. And then, like, 20 minutes for that? Is it really 20 minutes? Anyways. Coding the TB isn't going to be too hard. I just copy paste whatever we have for the other maps. Lore-wise, yeah, I mean, honestly, whatever it is literally an excuse for people not to develop stuff. Like in terms of, like, how you build the game and whatever, and how the game's balanced, like, even if there is a lore reason for some stuff, it's generally a lore reason on top of developers just not caring to change it. Because when it comes to game balancing, making it fit with the lore isn't a priority for balancing. I think a good example of this is like which NPCs reset or which ones don't. Pretty much, like, even if there is a lore reason for an NPC not to reset or whatever, or to reset, but it just makes sense for the game design to have it not reset, it's going to go with the game design over the lore. Like Shelly is an example of this. There's a few other examples. When was King added? I haven't completed him just because there's no teleporter. Yeah, I was yeah, King was added over a year ago, I think. Or no, I guess he was added after Queen. Queen was added about about March of last year, so he was added probably June of last year, I'd say. June, July. Alright. Last thing in main hub. Hello. Will I ever be an NPC involved with the lore? Unlikely. I don't think I did 6/2/2023. Perfect. June of last year. Look at how good I am at memorizing this information. Oh, I definitely did not just spit out a random date. Random month. Yeah, honestly, I might actually remove a little bit of the teleportation, like, things. Like, I feel like it's, okay. This is Ren's fault, guys. You guys can blame, no, not really. It's my fault on how I want to implement it, but, yeah, it's kind of weird that people use the teleporting to NPCs for grinding. So I might add some sort of limit to, like, you can't teleport to an NPC, like, without completing the quest or whatever, so it instantly teleports you and talks to them or whatever. Something simple like that. Or maybe, like, if you talk to them, it refreshes, like, a cooldown or whatever, that's, like a 2-minute cooldown or 3-minute cooldown between talking to NPCs. Just so that people aren't using, like, the NPC teleport journal stuff for actual grinding, because I don't know, it feels kind of weird. It was pointed out that since some of the NPCs don't reset when you rebirth, it's kind of unfair in some circumstances. Thumbs down. Yeah, the thing is, this wouldn't actually affect server hopping. I'd probably make it all, like, server-based. So you'd still be able to teleport to, like, via the worlds or whatever. It would just be you can't, like, teleport to, Jax constantly for grinding, and, like, there, you have to go, or not Jax, like, Bovin, let's say. You can't just teleport to Bovin to grind, the last 4 areas of backdoor or whatever. You'd have to actually use the teleporter. I honestly, I don't think it'd be that, I don't think people would be that upset with it. Like, the way it's implemented, like, as it is, like, right now, people only really do King for it, and that's only because there's really not a teleport. I think once the teleporter's added, most people would rather complete King and then use the teleporters, than, actually, use the journal, even if the journal would be faster teleport. Yeah, I'm only doing that after the TP for Remnant Zone is added. As it is, people are going to be able to grind. There's no reason for me to hurt people by taking away a feature they've had for so long. Same thing with, like, unboxing. Like, long term, I want to remove the mass unboxing techniques we currently have. But I can't really do that without adding, like, an alternative that's a slighter nerf to it. That makes it, like, more, like, accessible. No, yeah, he's talking about the fact that eventually Shelly will be made to reset when you rebirth. Um, when I get around to changing how our quests work, so it's actually balanced and reasonable for human beings to do instead of 40 mermaids and 50 rat ghosts. Yeah, I know that quest gets all the hate. It's not the only reason why the quest is bad, but it is the defining fact of her quest. But yeah, it's again, a lot of these stuff is like stuff that's not soon, or it's going to be after a certain other thing that will make it a little bit more tenable for people to accept. Like, the idea is to not nerf stuff unconditionally. Like, make it make sense when I nerf stuff. So that, like, when people see, like, oh yeah, this thing got nerfed, that it's actually just the game being made better, not just taking away something that everyone had. Which on the flip side means I do need to be a little bit more careful about what I add. So I'm not adding anything that I need to nerf later. Remnant World packs and backs. Because people hate that. Literally, and that kind of makes it annoying. Like, it does mean that I can't patch some bugs that are currently in the game. Not patch. Optimize the game. Yeah, I can't optimize parts of the game without, okay, I think the best example of this is, pet inventories. There's currently a weird way with how pet inventories work, where it's like unboxing is actually super laggy. There are definitely ways to go out and fix this, but I can't fix this without making unboxing super overpowered, for people, which I can't accept. Because if I'm going to make unboxing super overpowered, I want to take away the mass unboxing, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to do it later. And then, because I want to take away the mass unboxing, I'm going to have to add something in addition to that. So for me to go ahead and improve inventories, how inventories are managed or whatever, I need to go ahead and, you know, adjust the code for how the unboxing works so it's less laggy. Then I need to go ahead and make it so that mass unboxing isn't doable with an auto clicker or whatever. And then I need to go add a feature where it allows people to mass unbox through a different method. It's a headache for me because I have to think about all that stuff on the update. Adds a lot of extra work for like a simple thing like, you know, making inventories less laggy. But it is worth it in general to make sure people stay happy. No. This is literally, I cannot make unboxing better. Otherwise, everyone will rage when I make it worse. I literally can't. That is not in the cards. And I don't want to make classified unboxing easier than it already is, because it's already way too easy. Like, this is like, it would be, I can't accept the game being made that much easier, like, by the flick of a switch. And people can't accept me making that much easier and then making it much worse, to make it balanced again, later. So I have to do it all in one update. No. Blaze's quests have been the same since he came out. Or Agent Blaze's quests have been the same since he came out. Ghost Runner Blaze quest was actually nerfed. It went from 2 godlies to 1 godly. If you're talking about the new Blaze, actually there's 3 Blazes in the game. Are you talking about Agent Blaze, Ghost Runner Blaze, or the new Blaze NPC? Those 3 ones. I just call them Remnant Blaze. Like, I mean, it isn't Remnant Blaze for a reason, just because it doesn't want to get confused as him part of the other Remnant stuff. But since he's technically not a part of the rest of the Remnant group, it was, I think, a design decision not to have him named Remnant Blaze. But yeah, you can refer to him as that in terms of non-canon stuff. I think having him right now as it is with the Blaze with the parentheses Remnant is the best way to go about doing it. Like, there's... Having it as close to the name in-game as possible is definitely my it would definitely be my opinion on it. Alright, there we go. Ah, look at that. Onto Void? Alright. Yeah, you're a bit ahead of me. I mean, let me be honest. I'm not that far behind. I'm like 30 minutes behind. Guys, you've literally got a code yet. Or you literally got a code 4 hours ago? No, 6 hours ago. 7 hours ago. 7 hours ago, there was a new code dropped. So, you know, I don't know why. 2 hours, 23 minutes? Alright. So you're going to be closer with your 2 hour, 20 minute guess than I was with my 2 hour, 28 minute. Well, he could be talking about something else, to be honest, but codes are one of those things in the game that, it's literally on the wiki, too. This is, like, generally the wiki is out of date in terms of codes. But, like, this is, like, the one time where, like, the wiki is up to date on the codes. Ugh. Also, yeah, this is sometimes a lot worse than other times. Oh, we forgot Music Meadows. Who cares? Actually, is it up to date? Yes. It is currently up to date. Alright, we're using them. Yeah, Wi-Fi is kind of rough sometimes. Actually, Monday we had really bad difficulties with my Wi-Fi, so I understand. Bye. Honestly, no, I understand. Like, usually the codes are posted on Twitter or Discord. So if you aren't like a super nerd about Ghost Simulator and always on their social media and addicted to Discord like I am, you aren't going to be able to really see some of that information. I know, especially if you like play the game casually, like you don't join the you don't join Discords for all the games you play. Like I don't. It's fairly normal not to know all the active codes. It's just like, I don't know. It's just generally the wiki is the first place you check for most games, or at least most Roblox games in terms of codes. Like that's like when I'm looking for games or codes for other games, which I generally don't do. Honestly, I feel like codes are one of those things that are shouldn't be as needed for games as people make them out to be. But when I do check their wiki first, because that's generally where all of it's up to date and stuff ish. There's like week, 2 week, 3 week latency period between when people, depending on who on how active their wiki community is. But yeah, generally those are the best places to find codes and stuff. Oh, we're on team 2 already. And let's go equip some commons. Alright. Actually, I should... What are the chances of meeting me in game? If you join me from my Roblox profile when I'm in game, pretty high, but I have to be in like a public server, main hub server, or whatever. So it might be a little bit hard. Probably after this stream ends, I'll be going ahead and hopping into main hub servers for stuff. Actually, no. I'll probably hop into main hub server and then chill for a while after the stream ends, just in case people want that options. Because I know a few people have asked in chat. When 1%, you see? Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm still a new developer, so I'm still kind of a YouTuber and player of the game more than I am a developer. In some respects, I haven't really hit the developer period where, oh yeah, no, I only develop the game. I don't actually, like, you don't see me in game ever. Except when I need to go ahead and go in game to add codes or whatever. So it should be fairly easy to find me for a while. Also, is it just me or is my mouse like super big? I get that surprisingly less than you would think for being a developer. Actually, no, I get it common enough, but generally people are fine with me just saying use code 2 years or whatever. Since that is technically a pretty good stat pet. I'll fix it eventually. Maybe in next update. What quest am I on? I am on quest 27. I need to defeat Great Guardians. I'm almost done with Ghost World. So I'm about 45 minutes out of completing this Rebirth. 10 minutes out, or no, 20 minutes out of getting to final boss. So you probably are better off doing... Actually, as a YouTuber, I got so much less requests for free pets. I don't know what it is. Testers, everyone gets asked for free pets all the time. YouTuber, they'll say stuff like, "Oh, cool YouTuber, screenshot, nice to meet you." Oh, why is it? Who is grinding Great Guardian in public servers? Anyways, we're going to be in a private server probably for the rest of this, since it's all, it's pretty much all going to be backdoor from here on out. Wi-Fi decided to be nice. Yeah, Monday my Wi-Fi was really being bad. Like, I think I crashed 4 or 5 or 6 times, or not like crashed, but like Yeah, crashed, I guess, is the right word. Like, my Wi-Fi just gave out on me, like 6 times during the stream. It was a horribly scuffed stream. Every time I say Wi-Fi, no, that's not what I meant to click. Oh, okay, whatever. I guess we're making a slight detour into the back door to go ahead and look at the scenery really quick. Yeah, the thing is, swapping servers in private servers takes a lot longer than it does in public servers, so it's a little bit more of a issue when it happens here. Anyways, we're hitting the 3-hour mark. About 30 more minutes until I'm done with this, hopefully. Honestly, it's probably going to be a little bit longer than that. I don't think it's 15 minutes. Actually, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how long this ends up being. Scrap that time, 2 hours and 26. Are you actually done with that? Or is that still your new estimate for Rebirth time? No. Yeah, I guess that's you could complete. Oh, that's your estimate. Okay. Let me just go use my dev hacky powers really quick and immediately go ahead and rebirth or whatever. 2 second Great Guardian fight. Instant complete rest of Blaze's quest. Yeah, that's definitely would be worth it. Also, we're lagging a little bit right now, but I don't think it should play too much of a thing on this thing.